What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park ENT. You know what it is. I am glad to be back. I hope you all had a good week. I hope everything is going well for you. I hope you're enjoying this good weather here, at least, in the Midwest. I don't know where you're at, but I think across the country it's been pretty nice weather-wise, so it's pretty hot over here. I'm wearing a tank top, you know what I'm saying? A little Passion Park tank top. And speaking of that, if you want to get some merch, you want to get your own Passion Park tank top, you want to do any of that, we're going to start right away. Here's where you go. You go to passionpark.threadless.com, and you can get any of our merch there. There's deals from time to time. There was a deal last week. I think the next deal that we got is at the end of the month. I'll keep you guys posted on that. But yeah, you can get all of our merch. And then on that site, we have our, All I Know We Need Change shirt. It's really just called the We Need Change shirt. And that shirt, all the proceeds go to, a couple organizations, including Black Lives Matter, Campaign Zero, and, National Police Accountability Project. Yep. Those three. And then if there's any other organization that you would like your money to go to, please just let me know and I can make that happen. I am, grateful to everybody who's been purchasing shirts. And everybody who's been reaching out and saying those things. I have another thing that I'll be dropping next week, hopefully next week, that it goes in line with the t-shirt. I'm going to be sending the proceeds that way too. So that'll be coming out next week. So stay tuned for that. That's all I'll say. So like I said, passionpark.threadless.com, but you can also go to passionparkent.com. That's our full website that has all video projects, video, movie, film, music projects, all that stuff. But there's also our merch stores on there, and there's some stuff that I already have in stock here. And then there's also the Threadless link is on there as well. So you can order through there. Like I said, the proceeds for the We Need Change shirt go to those organizations. So that is a good way to donate some money and to get a t-shirt. You know what I mean? To get a t-shirt. And if you're familiar with my work, those lyrics, All I Know We Need Change, is from a song that I have, and maybe from another song that I got coming. I don't know. Either way. But yeah, and then if you want to just listen to more of my music, go to thedavidlopez.com, www.thedavidlopez.com. I just dropped a brand new EP. It's called Chapters, 7 songs. You can listen to it on my website. Go to thedavidlopez.com/chapters. Just keep repeating myself. But you can listen to it for free on the site, and then you can also download it for as cheap as $1. It's basically just make your own price. I tried to make it as affordable as possible. I just want people to listen, and if you do listen, please let me know what's your favorite song. Let me know if you like it. Just let me know your thoughts. I don't know. It's cool to hear people talk about actually listening to my music. Once in a while. It's obviously I don't get a crazy amount of streams and fans comparative to a lot of other artists, but I mean I get some people who listen, and I need to always be appreciative of the people who do listen and the people who do take their time. And that's including the podcast as well. It means a lot. It means a lot. The numbers aren't crazy for the podcast either. I mean, if you watch on YouTube, you can see the views or whatever. But it's been for the past, I don't know, a couple months, a little bit. It's been pretty consistent as far as the numbers on YouTube and then the numbers on the podcast app, just like listening audio podcast wise. So that could be Spotify, Apple, Google, whatever. Been pretty consistent, nothing crazy, but I'm okay with it as long as, the hope is that it's the same, that the same listeners are returning. So I'm hoping that is the case, and then I want to keep building on that and growing on that, and hopefully we got more people listening. And that responsibility also lies on myself, as I need to keep improving the show and trying new things and doing that, and getting guests probably, because I know it seems as though the interviews usually do pretty decently, so I'm gonna try. I gotta try to pick that back up. It's obviously been a hectic kind of couple months with everything going on. I could definitely have done some more phone interviews, but then sometimes I just want to talk about the shit that I want to talk about, and I know when I get those phone interviews, it's usually about the artists and stuff, which is cool. It's great. I like having that, but I'm trying to talk my sports bullshit. I'm trying to talk some joke bullshit, and I'm trying to talk some real bullshit with everything that's going on right now. I'm gonna stop saying bullshit, and I'm gonna get into the show. Let's do it.
David Lopez is the name. It's my show. Welcome to it.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, all right, enough of that. I don't know what I'm doing. So we've been doing the clip of the week for a little bit. That's just something I started just to lighten things up a little bit, and I don't know, just get a quick laugh. I'm gonna start this episode off with a quick little clip of the week, but I'm not going to I mean, I guess I'll just play the whole clip one time. It's a minute long. It's not that exciting, like as far as action goes. So we're just gonna watch it one time and then laugh at it because I watched this the other day when I saw it on my timeline and I just was cracking up. And I figure, why not? Let's just share it real quick. If you guys haven't seen it, this is what I would like. Actually, I'm not even gonna call it. I'll give you my name for it after. Let's check it out.
Slide 3 from the
So
PDF
now,
I sent you this
can I
morning.
actually hop off this call since I'm not on this account?
It's no problem.
Okay,
Go ahead, Sean.
All right, Daniel's got to hop out of this call real quick. He's got to hop out. It's an urgent hop out. So he accidentally he presses the call out. Oh no, he didn't though.
Right below.
What page are we on?
I'm sorry, we're on page 12, the second graph from the
Oh
top.
no!
Daniel, turn your camera off.
Oh no!
All right, so if you look, we're 0.15% higher than 2019. We started this quarter off at 2.75%.
Holy shit.
Daniel,
Oh my
Daniel.
god!
Can you do that for us?
Daniel,
Daniel.
Call Mika.
Oh my God.
You call Daniel on his cell. Call Daniel on his cell.
Oh,
How do we turn this feed off?
shit.
Wow.
We can't.
Oh hell no.
Daniel. Oh my God. Daniel is the host. Holy shit.
Oh my god, that is amazing. It is perfect for the quarantine because everybody's been on Zooms. I like to call this video Zoom jerk. So, all right, now I'm understanding it after watching this. So he was the host. Daniel was the host. He's in there. Clearly, it's like a 9-10 person meeting. They talk about their accounts, and then he says, for anybody who's listening audio wise, obviously you couldn't see that. What you heard was a Zoom call, right? Daniel in the top left corner there says, "Hey guys, I'm not on this account. Can I just get out of this call real quick? Clearly something urgent's going on. Maybe he's, I don't know what he's got to do. Maybe he's really hungry or something." So he presses the end call button and his screen goes black real briefly and then comes right back because he's not allowed to end. And now I know because the girl at the end says, "Oh, he's the host. He can't end the call because he's the host." But it just briefly blacks out, and then it's not even 5 seconds. He runs right to the bathroom to grab some lotion and some tissues and game on. You know what he was about to do there. But like his face, because he comes back to the computer, he undoes his belt, he just stares at the computer. Like his eyes look like bug-eyed, like you turn into this animal creature when he's like looking for and all the people on the call are like, "Oh shit, oh no, turn your camera off." Clearly his audio's off. They're like, "Call him on his cell phone." Oh, that's fucked up. I just saw that going through and I was just like, wow. I mean, the urgency from Daniel to feel that, clearly that whole entire Zoom call. Let's just say this before we get out of this. I told you it was just gonna be a quick one. I just wanted to get a laugh in real quick. Real quick, I mean, he clearly was not paying attention to whatever they were talking about in their work meeting because it seemed pretty evident that he was ready to handle some other business. So he was not paying attention to that meeting. So whatever they think they got done in that meeting, it didn't get done. Also, I'm sure his coworkers can never look at him the same. That was wild. My only other thought on that, and I did this, I think, the other week was is it fake or not? Was that my one thought was like that could be like a like they do like stand-up groups in the Zooms, or they've done like open mics and Zooms, and that could just be like a sketch on a Zoom because that's a funny sketch idea on a Zoom. It seemed too natural though. It seemed too real. I don't think all those people are that good of actors because that was good. That was fucking awesome. So that was our clip of the week. Ooh. All right. I wanted to start off with that right away because I don't know. They've been making me laugh the past couple of weeks. I like doing that. All right, before we talk about all the sports jazz that I want to talk about, it's not actually jazz, by the way. I just want to remind everybody how important it is for us as a show. I say us because you guys are in this with me. For you guys to subscribe, rate, review, like, share the show. It means the world. If you're on YouTube, just a subscription or a thumbs up or a comment, that means a lot. But if you're listening to the podcast on whatever app it might be, if you're on Spotify, give us a heart. If you're on Apple, subscribe, rate, review, Google the same, all that stuff. It really, really helps the show a lot, gets it more listens, gets it more traction. And it also just means the world to me. It just soothes my heart for you guys to do things like this. So it would be really appreciated. Subscribe, rate, review, share, tell a friend about the David Lopez Show. And we're going to keep it up. All right, let's get into some sports.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
anything is possible. And apparently Kyrie Irving thinks a league run by the players is possible. So while that is an interesting concept, I don't know how real of a concept it is. But that's what's been coming out. So it sounds like the NBA is going to start next month, barring some changes here. But a couple of the things that have come out, Kyrie Irving specifically has talked about the idea of not playing. The social justice issues are I think I've talked about this a little bit last week. I mean, it's a real thing. I mean, you don't want to take attention off of something when you feel like there's a real movement towards change. That idea is, I think Kyrie is definitely coming with the right intentions. Like I said before, I don't even think at this point in time, us calling out and saying, "Oh, you're doing this for the right intentions," is the right thing to say anyways. Like, I mean, even if he wasn't, like, whatever, the idea is out there, and it's good to have these ideas and talk about these things. Yeah, so he's really floating that idea out. And then apparently what's come out is that he has had conversations with Kevin Durant. I don't know if there was somebody else about like the idea of starting his own league. Like that's a concept that is not too wild for him. Like he's into that idea, starting his own league. I mean, not his specifically, but a player run league. Now a superstar like him, where he knows that they start their own league, he's still going to be in the top tier. I don't know how they would figure all the numbers out and do all that stuff. I mean, but whatever. He's still in the top tier. He'd get paid pretty well. But if you don't have these backers and these owners like we already have, then I think who's affected more by an idea that he's talking about might be the fringe players, not like the guys who are, not getting the huge contracts, the guys who are trying to get they're trying to get a 1-year deal to get paid this year. I mean, those kind of guys I think would be more affected by the idea of not being able to get a 2-week contract or whatever to make money to fucking live, to pay your bills. I think that's probably a bigger issue. And if you don't have the big financial backing of the NBA, is that possible? Obviously, they'll get financial backing because if you have all your players playing, you'll get a big TV deal. But then I heard somebody else talking about it because there has been these kind of concepts that I guess have been floated out before in other sports. Like, what if we branched off and did another, I guess like the XFL kind of, but not really because the NFL didn't leave. But like guys saying like, what if we branched off, did another league? And then the TV deals that end up happening are probably not as good, but also what'll happen is then the TV networks will have a bad relationship with the original league. So say Kyrie started a league, the players started a league, and then they try to get a deal with ESPN. ESPN gives them a deal. Then NBA is mad at ESPN for doing that deal. So then long-term wise, they might only put their games on NBA TV if they come back or whatever, or whatever the situation is. So there's rifts that can be created from ideas like this. But could it happen, I guess, is the bigger thing. Could it even happen? Could the players do something like this and just revolt? What's funny about it is that the NBA is definitely the most player-friendly league. It seems to be they have the highest approval rating of their ownership and just how they handle situations. So they are not the ones that I would think that this would even be coming up. I mean, you would think that maybe the NFL or some shit, players would be like, let's just start our own. But no, it's the NBA. But I think it's just the idea and the concept of let's own our own product. We're all the talent here. Let's own it. And the thing is, we can all call Kyrie wild and out of his mind for thinking of this now. Not that we're calling him out of his mind. I mean, it's an idea. But the people who are forward thinking and have these concepts for changing a complete system that's been in place, they're always ahead of the time. So we would all think it's off, and then maybe in 10 years, 15 years, already something like this starts to develop. I mean, what's definitely true is that leagues are becoming more player friendly. Players are having more control. That's something that social media has done, and just the way that our technology has worked is that players have a bigger voice than they've ever had. They seem to have more of a voice control wise because they voice things, they voice their frustrations, and things seem to happen now. I'd say more than before. I don't really know, the whole history of everything. I'm younger in that time frame of like sports history, but I mean, I know some stories, and it just seems. I mean, well, a good example is The Last Dance. I mean, the Bulls. I mean, all that stuff that happened where the Bulls, the greatest team of NBA history. Yeah, I fucking said it. Balls. The greatest team in NBA history gets broken up because the ownership has feuds and all this stuff. That wouldn't happen nowadays. The players have way too much control to allow that to happen. The owners would just be ostracized, and it would, no, it's not happening. So the game has completely changed. So I mean, with that being said, maybe we're 15 years away from the game, the shift changing so much that the owners aren't even fucking involved because people are like, why do we even need them? We need a GM, we need a president of basketball operations, and we need a team. But then the president of basketball operations turns into the owner. It's a trickle down effect. I think things just happen. But I like the idea. I like the concept. And then one other NBA thing I want to talk about. And first off, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the NBA has such good history. Stats matter in sports, like they I know baseball particularly, but stats seem to matter. And you take away the statistical history from the sports by changing the leagues, and that would be kind of weird. So I don't know. I mean, maybe there is a fundamental shift in how revenue is divided, how ownership is viewed, and all those things in the NBA. But the NBA seems to be the most forward-thinking league. So I would think that would be the last to have some sort of revolt against the institution of the league. But it's the first one I've heard floated out there. So, and Kyrie's such an interesting cat. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day. It's so clear. It makes sense that Kyrie and LeBron wouldn't have gelled on the team because they're so different. They're just like so different cats. Like, but they also said Kyrie was really frustrated about the LeBron thing because LeBron would sign 1-year contracts and he was just like, I can't plan my future like this. So that makes sense too. But they're clearly different cats. LeBron wants to play. And LeBron, I think he has the right intentions in mind too, social justice wise. They're going to do things while playing as well. It's an interesting conversation. Can they accomplish more on the court with their voices and their just being seen every day during games, or can they accomplish more by not being in the biodome, in the bubble, and being out there? Maybe I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's an interesting conversation though. And then the other thing that we talked about this last week. I said they need to make the movie Biodome, the Replacements type shit, which I thought was pretty funny. I don't know, but what they are talking about doing and makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Adam Silver was the president of media or coverage or some shit back in 98 when they agreed to film the Bulls that whole 98 the run. I mean, the Last Dance, all that footage that came was because the NBA agreed to film them secretly behind the scenes that whole season, right? So they're talking about doing essentially the same thing for the bubble, the NBA bubble. That's exactly what I want. Now, I want a real comedy starring Kevin Hart and Keanu Reeves as the coach. I want that to happen as well. But a real documentary about the whole NBA bubble is going to be fucking awesome. Because if the amenities came out this week, it's all like, you get pools, you get private chef, you get a private manicurist, pedicurist. You can play cards with each other, but you got to change out the deck every time. There's going to be mad gambling. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of shit that goes on. I'm sure it'll be kind of cool. I mean, it'll be kind of like... you got to remember, these are grown-ass men, so we talk about like, oh, it's cool going back to college for, 2 months. Like, that's fun. It does sound fun, but I am sure these are grown-ass men that are just like, fuck this, too. It's a little bit of both, I think, but I think it'll probably be a fun experience for a certain amount of people. So I definitely want to see some documentary footage. I mean, think about this. Now, hopefully, Lord willing, there's no other pandemic, but think about if we were in a quarantine like this in 15 years, and then this footage from this bubble, from this pandemic comes out, and we have an amazing documentary then, and it garners the attention of the Last Dance style documentary. And not to mention, what if the actual basketball content is great to go with it? And I'm hoping it is. I'm fairly excited for this NBA bubble tournament, just to have something different and just to have some basketball to watch. But that's awesome. I'm so glad. Adam Silver is the shit. He's already on board saying we got to get the camera crews. We got to do that. And I think that is a necessity. It's clutch, and it will be good fucking content. Woo. All right. And speaking of statistics, and I was saying how they're so important in baseball. Baseball, are they going to start? Who fucking knows? Last week, Rob Manfred goes 100%. We're going to play. 2 days later, he goes, not so sure. Probably at 50-50. Yesterday, a proposal comes out for 60 games. Now everybody's optimistic, saying they think it's going to get signed. So we're back to like a 90%. Then I heard another report saying, unless the players come back saying they want 75, then we're going to be back at a stalemate. Looks like we're probably going to get baseball here, maybe like a 65 game season. I'm okay with that. I can deal with that. Quick run. All right, whatever. Just agree. It's a weird time to be having this kind of argument over this. With everything else going on. Baseball does not look great right now. And on top of baseball not looking great in that sense, Long Gone Summer, the documentary we briefly talked about last week, did not get good reviews. Did not do well. And I want to say this. I watched Long Gone Summer, obviously, before I went on Twitter and watched what everybody was talking about it or saying about it. And watching it in real time, I was just like, whatever. It was fine. It was like, yeah, it reminded me of that summer in 98. I did think there was some weird things. I'm like, why do they keep showing the fans? And there's like fans wearing Chris Bryant jerseys. They showed footage from like 2016, which it's like they didn't have enough B-roll from fucking 98. I don't understand. They got to have mad B-roll from 98. So I didn't understand that. And there were some things like that. And a lot of people were complaining that Sosa wasn't in it enough. Okay, looking at it in retrospect and looking it back, yeah, it wasn't a great documentary. It wasn't great by any means. It was kind of boring. Just keep it on, whatever. I don't know what I was expecting though. I guess I just wasn't as upset as everybody else was. Everybody else was so upset about it, talking about this is the F. This is the worst documentary. Where's Sammy? Sammy's not in it enough. It's all about Mark McGwire, and just like it wasn't interesting enough. There wasn't new facts that came out. I agree with all that. I guess I wasn't expecting a crazy thing from it. I think part of it is we have high expectations because The Last Dance was great. We also have nothing else to break down sports wise, so we're breaking this down like we would break down a NBA Finals game, and that's just not how. I mean, no. As somebody who loves films and works on film stuff, it should be broken down because a lot of time went into this making the project. But yeah, and it could have done much better. It could have been made much better. The lack of Sammy Sosa, I wonder, because like McGwire was clearly the focal point of this. But I wonder with the lack of Sammy thing, because clearly they had interview footage. They had a couple of different interviews of him, either 2 or 3. He's not the best interviewer. I just want to say, like, he doesn't always give the best quotes. He's pretty feisty sometimes. He got some, anger coming back, I think, and rightfully so for some of the shit. So I'm wondering if maybe they didn't. There's 2 sides to this. I'm trying to defend. I'm not really trying to defend, but I mean the documentary makers a little bit. Part of me thinks like maybe they didn't get what they wanted out of the interview, so it just didn't work out that way. They used what they got from the interviews and created the film. And that's part of what I'm curious about. Like maybe Sammy just didn't provide the answers that they were looking for, hoping for, to create more Sammy content. I guess that's the only thought I could have. Maybe the questions suck too. That's very possible. But yeah, I'm wondering because it definitely was primarily McGwire, and it makes me like, I didn't remember that McGwire was so much bigger than Sosa at the time. I guess the way they made it seem, like I thought Sosa was already a big deal, but the way but I was only 8 years old, so I mean I don't fucking know. And now everybody makes it seem like, I mean, McGwire was in the league for 10 years, and Sosa had never had a huge home run season like this. So I guess they really made it seem like he came out of nowhere, like he sucked. But I don't know. That was weird. So that didn't do so well. So I don't know. MLB in all fronts, get the season going so we can talk about something else. I mean, we started this year off before the season even started talking about the Houston Astros and how they fucked up baseball with all their shit. The coronavirus hits, and then we forget about the Houston Astros. So they got saved by that story because I was ready to talk shit about them for 6 straight months during this season. I wonder if when baseball comes back, if the Astros still catch mad shit like they were before. I don't know. I mean, I think they still will, but we'll see. I don't know. All right. Well, that was a fun episode. Started off with me talking about a Zoom jerk, and it ended with me talking about a long gone summer jerk. Baseball. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of my show, The David Lopez Show. I appreciate you guys. Go to passionparkent.com. Go to www.thedavidlopez.com. Go check out chapters. I would appreciate that. And go get your merch from passionpark.threadless.com. You know what it is. But yeah, all right. I appreciate you guys. Stay healthy, stay good. Enjoy your weekends. This weekend is Father's Day, so if you can, enjoy some time with your family. I know I'm gonna get to do that. So yeah, let's do that. Appreciate you guys. One love. I will talk to you all next week.